Family Credit Management is a non-profit credit counseling agency. We specialize in helping people take control of their debt.
People call in every day. By the end of the call, they're feeling better. They know there's some hope out there.
For over a decade, Family Credit Management has helped tens of thousands of Americans deal with the burden of debt.
If you're struggling with debt, the most important thing is to take control of it. Now's the time.
Family.
Hey, we are back. My name is Letitia Griffin, and I am Certified Credit and Housing Counselor. Just coming to you today to talk to you about any issues that you may be facing with your debt, with credit, with trying to save money. Whatever your issues are, whatever problems you may have, feel free to call in, and you can just talk with us for the next 25-30 minutes or so. You can reach us at 312-738-1060. Now, let's say you didn't get a chance to call in and you remembered something that you wanted to talk about, or you had a question, or you just needed advice. There's an option for you. So you can always reach out and contact a counselor at Family Credit at 800-994-3328. The counselors are waiting to answer your questions, and they've got some really great advice. They're a really great resource that you can use. And if you cannot call, feel free to go online to Family Credit's website at familycredit.org. So those are some resources that I want you to be aware of. Now, as we continue with this summer and things like the weather outside is better, we're all feeling great about it. We know that summer is kind of here to stay for the next few weeks or so. And we began to think about what types of things that we can do throughout the city of Chicago. So I just wanted to share a few of those with you. Also, we'll be talking about the new credit report laws and the changes that have come into effect and how it is going to help you. And we'll finish up with just some questions or just some things experiences that we've gone through over the past couple of weeks with credit challenges, with disputes, and dealing with collection agencies, because we've got some stories for you too. So again, feel free to call in 312-738-1060, or you can reach out to a counselor at 800-994-3328. So like I was saying, over the summer, there's been some great things that you should be aware of. Free events that are going on throughout the city, especially if you have children or you're just looking for a chance to get out and just experience some things for you. The Adler Planetarium, on June 21st, they've got a free day where they'll let you in for free and you can just visit the planetarium. That's a great family experience that you can be a part of. They also have some other days in August. It's like the end of August, August 27th, so feel free to check them out. Also, you can look at the DuSable Museum. Every Tuesday, all year long, they have free admission. So that's something great for you to take your children to as well if you're looking for a day to get out the house. You can also visit the Field Museum June 20th, 21st, and 22nd, and you get free admission on those days. So something else to think about. Also, the Museum of Science and Industry. Everyone loves to go to the Museum of Science and Industry, right? So on June 11th and 12th, and then again, there's a lot of dates in September, you can get into the Museum of Science and Industry for free. And that's a really great experience as well. Last one I want to bring up is the Shedd Aquarium. Shedd Aquarium, they have dates June 11th, 12th, 18th, and 19th. And then pretty much the month of September is free as well. So if you're looking for something to do, please take advantage of that. There's also, the events in the park that are being sponsored. There are movie nights at different parks. You can go to the festivals that are happening in Millennium Park, also at Grant Park. Look also into the Maggie Daley Park as well. And those are just some things that you can do with your family that will save money, and it does not drain your wallet. Because, sometimes we want to do things for our kids. We want to have some fun with our family and create those experiences, but we just don't have the money to do that. There's no need for you to try and break the bank. So these are ideas to give you to help save money. So feel free to take advantage of them and reach out to any place that you're probably interested in going. In the city of Chicago, they probably have some sort of discounted days for all the museums and parks and things like that. So discounted or free days, or even some coupons you can take advantage of. Other things that we want to point out, if you're looking for something to do, you can also look on sites that offer discounted entries and fun things to do, such as like you got your Groupon out there and Living Social. So take advantage of those. Don't forget about those, because you can find a lot of things to do at a discounted rate, because we want to save you money. We don't want you to break the bank, and you want to be able to have fun. So keep those in mind. Also, look at other ways of saving. Look at the different restaurants that you're looking at going to as well. Did you know that a lot of those restaurants, they have loyalty programs or ways for you to save money that you might not even know about? Pay attention to the advertisements that you see when you go to restaurants, because they may have some sort of luxury program or card that you can sign up for. And usually to sign up for those types of rewards programs, they are free. And you can get points on every visit. You can get birthday meals. Usually you can get money off. And they're really great ways for you to save. So think about that as well. Now we're going to dive right into the credit reports. And I'm kind of excited about this because it's just a new law. Not necessarily a new law, but new regulations, new standards that the credit bureaus are holding themselves to that you need to be aware of, because it's really going to improve your credit report and your credit profile. So this all started a few years ago when the credit bureaus, they received a settlement. They reached a settlement for some suits that they were filed, which, it started off with the credit bureaus being able to share information back and forth, and they're just working on different ways to make things better. So one of the things that happened not too long ago, the beginning of the year, you may have noticed that tax liens have started to fall off of your credit report. And those are tax liens that cannot be verified, or they were incomplete. Like the information went through the court system, everything wasn't there, but it still ended up on your credit report. Guess what? If those things couldn't be verified, they were removed from your credit report. So now this law just takes it one step further, and we'll go over that change as well. So we've got quite a few changes to talk about that will help you with your credit report. Again, you can call in 800-994-3328 to talk to a counselor, or just reach out back here at 312-738-1060. And looks like we've got our first caller. Hi, welcome to the show.
Hi, I was just wondering where I would be able to obtain my credit report.
Okay. Well, if you're looking to get your credit report, the best place for you to go is annualcreditreport.com. And even before we jump into the meat of our subject today, that's the place where I want you to start, annualcreditreport.com. You can also look at the credit union's websites individually at transunion.com, equifax.com, and experian.com. Any place other than that, most likely the report that you're looking for, it might be an outdated one, it might not be free, and there could be some strings attached. So you want to be careful with that. Go to annualcreditreport.com, create an account, log in, and you can get your credit report from TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. And like I was saying, the credit reports, they've improved their standards for how they're going to take care of our reports. Now, one of the things that we talked about, the tax liens actually coming off. The next big update, and I want you to pay attention to this, the next big update has to do with the medical bills and collection accounts that are on your report. Now, what's going to happen is that all medical bills will have to wait at least, we'd have to wait until maybe the medical bills are at least 6 months old, so 180 days before they can be reported on your credit report. And a lot of times, this affects a lot of people because they struggle with medical bills, and to actually get a medical bill reported on your credit report, even before then, that whole billing process takes a lot of time. It's a lot of back and forth. Sometimes they have your insurance information wrong. Sometimes you may have had a medical card that they didn't, you bill for it. Sometimes there's so many different things that can go wrong in medical billing. And sometimes they can try and bill you for something that you didn't even do or need, or a service that you didn't have. So that's why this new law will actually go a long ways in helping. And also keep this in mind. There are a lot of different collection agencies that were reporting on medical bills, and they may have had one medical bill reporting for you. And then you turn around and you're looking at 6 different bills from the same place reporting on your credit report. So this is going to take care of a lot of that too, because now they'll have to wait 6 months to actually prove that the account was delinquent before they can report it on your credit report. So pay attention to those medical bills. Make sure that you're talking to the billing departments. If you cannot afford to make the payments on the medical bills, reach out to the billing department of wherever the medical bill came from, whether it be a hospital or a private doctor, whoever it is. Reach out to the billing center. Tell them that you cannot afford to make the payment and you want to set up arrangements. Now, this is going to go a long ways, because guess what? If you're making the payments on those medical bills, they can't report them as charged off, because now the hospital is getting some sort of payment. And if it's nothing more than $10 or whatever you can afford to make each and every single month on that, that's going to keep it from being reported on your credit report now. And also, please keep in mind there's charity assistance available, and we'll talk about that in a second too. Looks like we've got another caller. Hi, welcome to the show.
Yes, my student loans are coming out of deferment, but I cannot afford to pay them. What advice do you have for student loans?
Okay. Now, with dealing with student loans, the best thing that you can do is, if you know that you can't afford to pay and your deferment period is coming due, you need to let them know. Start talking to them, seeing if you can get on an income-based repayment plan. And sometimes they may say that no, you're not eligible right now, but as long as you keep talking to them, they'll find some sort of options available for you, because there's so many different types of payment plans and options out there available for student loans. First thing you want to do is make sure that you are talking about all the student loans that you have too. Sometimes we'll look at our credit report, we'll only see 1 or 2, or we'll only get 1 letter in the mail, but when we look at our report, it looks like it's 6 different loans. So you want to get a report which shows all of the student loans that you may have, and you can do that at the Department of Education's website. If you go to their website, you'll be able to log in, and it's kind of like getting your own credit report, but it's just for student loans. So that way you can take a look at what all you owe. Then you can set up payment arrangements by contacting your lender. You do not want to let the student loans get past due at all. Now, each lender is different, so they report differently too. I had clients that I worked with that were able to set up payment arrangements right away. As soon as the accounts they started setting up the payment arrangements, the creditor reported the account as current again. But then there's some lenders out there who, no matter how long you wait, they may even have maybe a 9-month period before they report you as current. So you do want to ask those questions too. While you're setting up the repayment plan, ask them, how does this affect my credit report too? How do you report to the credit bureaus? And get those arrangements set up right away. Looks like we've got another caller. Hi, welcome to the show.
Hi, Letitia.
Hi.
My question is about student loans as well.
Okay.
I mean, way back when I got them, it was with a bank in the United States. But now I'm sure that that's been sold and resold and sold again. So who are they that we're paying all this money to?
Okay.
And I'll get off the air and let you answer the question. Thanks again.
Now, student loans, they have been around for such a long time, and they do haunt you as soon as you get it. And a lot of times when we first even got the student loans, we didn't recognize or we didn't realize who we were actually making this debt with. And a lot of it has to do with us being ignorant at the fact when we're sitting down with the counselors, we just want to go to school and we'll sign any paper that comes across. And so we didn't really do a whole lot of research into who was actually getting the money. And like with the student loans, they are insured. Most of the student loans that are not the private student loans, but a lot of the student loans are secured or insured by the government. And the government, they want to get their money no matter what. So the best thing you can do is work out a payment arrangement, because they're not going to go away. Now, there are some options out there though where you can find student loan forgiveness. And if you work in the public sector, that may be a good option for you as well. If you contact your lender, find out where the loan is, who you owe, and you can do that by looking at the Department of Education's website to figure out who actually holds your loan and who services it. Could be 2 different answers too, so be prepared for that. But find out who has it, what you owe, and work on setting arrangements for them. You can contact them and talk to them in details about your options, and see if you qualify for some type of forgiveness as well. If you work in the public sector, if you are a public service officer, and sometimes there's something that you can be available for, or that you can qualify for, and you may not even know. So be sure to go into details and let them know about your situation, and let them know you can't afford to make the payment right now, because they want you to pay the student loans off right away. They don't want you to hold that debt, but a lot of times that debt is so much that you just can't do it. And so we realize that, but give them a call. That you be talking to starting off with the Department of Education. Most likely they'll transfer you to Sally Mae or whoever your servicer is, and you can get that information taken care of and squared away. If you got any other questions about dealing with student loans and how to get into repayment, what recourse you can take, you can also contact a counselor and just give them a little bit more details than you are able to give me on the air. And they can help you just find the right resources for you. They can even give you the website for the Department of Education as well for you to get that report. Looks like we've got another caller. Hi, welcome to the show.
Oh, hello. I have a secured credit card that I've been using for a couple of months now, and I just checked my Credit Karma, and my score is still not going up. I've had this for a few months now. Does it normally take this long?
Actually, it really does take a few months for your score to start improving once you get a secured account. And the reason for that is because typically when you get the secured account, you're getting it because your credit's not good or you're trying to establish credit. So, and a lot of times when we get new credit, it does knock our score down just a little bit because it's a new debt. There's no history there and there's nothing reporting. Sad part is sometimes it takes your creditors a couple of months before they actually start reporting. So the first month you may not see anything, you may not notice anything at all. Second month you may see that the account shows up on your credit report, but there's not really solid information there. There's no history, it hasn't really started reporting, it's just there. Then you may notice that the third month it'll show what your balance is, and it'll show that maybe they've received a payment, maybe they haven't yet either. But sometimes it can take up to 90 days before the creditor can actually start reporting accurate information on your credit report. And it's just because there's nothing there and you're looking at establishing history. So don't be discouraged. Just go ahead, continue paying on the account and watching it. Now, once you get to the 6-month mark, that's when you should notice that your credit has started to improve and you should see an increase in your score. It will happen. You just have to be a little bit patient with it. And when you're dealing with your credit, I know a lot of times we want to see changes right away. We want to see that positive information and the decisions that we've made for that information, that they've affected things and that our score is increasing. But sometimes it does take a little bit of time. So just keep at it, stay the course, and your score will start to rebound within the next few months. So thanks for calling in and asking those questions. So we were talking about how the credit bureaus have changed their policy to make things better for us. And we were getting into talking about just how the medical bills and everything are affecting our credit report. So just to recap, after 180 days have passed from the medical facility sending in your bills for collections, that's when it'll get reported on your credit report. It won't happen right away, and so you shouldn't be getting those threatening calls and everything while you're trying to work on arrangements, trying to set up arrangements, and even make sure that the insurance company paid like they were supposed to. So that's a lot of great news, and it's going to really help. If you got any other questions, you can feel free to contact a counselor, 800-994-3328. Another change, another really, really positive change that's affected our credit report is that debt collectors who have not updated the credit report, now that information might even be removed from your credit report too. Now sometimes you'll see that, let's say a collection agency was entered on your account a few years ago, and for the first few months of a collection agency handling the account, what they're going to do is they're going to constantly update that information with the credit bureau, only because they know that it's affecting your score. And if they're updating your credit report every single month, if it's with negative information, your score is being lower, you're going to pay attention to it. But after a while, they probably stop updating your report. Maybe after 6 months or so, you haven't contacted them, they haven't heard from you, even though they've hit your score repeatedly, they've hit your report and they're updating information, you still haven't reached out. So a lot of the collection agencies, they stop reporting. And also keep in mind that in order for a collection agency to report to the credit bureau, they have to be a member. So if they're a member and they're reporting on your report and they don't really have anyone else to report on, or they don't have any change, a lot of times they won't even update the report. Well, with that in mind, the credit bureaus will start to delete that information if it has not been updated for 6 months. So that's something you can pay attention to on your credit report too. That's a really great change when you're dealing with collection agencies, when they're trying to hassle you with money. So now, if they don't have that information updated for 6 months or more, it'll be removed and sometimes even suppressed. So it won't even matter in your score as much either. Something great to keep in mind. Also, so look at your report. Feel free to go to annualcreditreport.com, pull that report, and look at the date that they last reported the activity, because that's going to be key in what I'm talking about here. So keep that in mind. Again, you can contact a counselor at Family Credit who can actually help you by pulling the report and going over things with you as well, see where you stand. Another change that I wanted to talk to you about with the new laws that are coming into play now is that authorized users, it has to do with authorized users. So if you got an account and you authorize someone to be on your credit card, sometimes you do that because you want to help them with their credit report, you want to try and build up their score, some sort of reason why people allow other people to use their accounts. Now, here's the new change though. If you open up a new account and you want an authorized user on that account, you can have the authorized user, but that authorized user's credit report will not be updated unless you provide them with that person's birthday. And so sometimes I've even noticed on some of the offers now that they're asking for the birthday of the person that you want to enroll on the account with you. And it's still an authorized user. It's not saying that they're jointly responsible for it at all. But if you wanted to go on that person's credit report, it won't happen unless you provide that information. So that's something good to know too, because sometimes people may think they're bringing on an authorized user to improve their credit report and nothing's happening. That'd be why, because they don't have all the information that they need to update that person's credit reports. Another change that I wanted to talk to you about was when we dispute, and we talked a lot about disputing on the credit reports over the past couple of weeks. New change that has to go with the disputes though. Typically, if you dispute things too much, the credit bureaus will not respond to your report or your new inquiry like you want them to. That's a thing of the past as well. So you can dispute as much as you want, as long as you are not disputing it with a credit repair place or someplace that's promising to clear up your credit and do all of those things. Remember, credit repair is illegal in Illinois, so you don't even want to look at that option. But if someone's making those promises, then you don't even have to worry about that either, because it's not going to, they're going to reject that, and that dispute's not even going to happen. So those are a couple of updates that I wanted to talk to you about with the new law. Feel free to do your own research and look at the law and see how it affects you. You can contact a counselor at Family Credit, 800-994-3328. Find out more information about dealing with your credit. And the last thing, when you do the disputes, you will receive information on how that dispute was handled. So if you've got some questions about disputing as well, feel free to call us back next week. I do appreciate your questions this week. Thanks for calling in, even asking about the student loans and the secured cards, because the more we know, the more everyone else is familiar with, the better we can do. So feel free to continue to watch and call in next week. Until then, I will see you then. Take care.